doesn't trust his machines. That's the problem. The automating person, we are right for managing it. Because he was not going to do full of virus. Now you are in a position to turn on your remove permission from the browser. Waste of time basically because of the wire. So that's why I cannot trust Windows. We cannot safely work on Windows. So that's always a, and we need to buy all antivirus, so on and so forth. We need to get ourselves overloaded to all these things. You might not have faced the problem. Those who are using Jorin and other Linux operating systems, you do not have any problem with these viruses and all. Only the problem always comes with Windows operating systems. For some reason, it's getting delayed so much. Okay. So how to do and how to handle it, I don't know. There is an AVG, so much support, still virus is there. You can see that when we are browsing something, that the browser is being populated with so many other unnecessary things. చెప్పు ఇక్కడే క్లాసు ఏం లేదు అయిపోయినట్టే అప్లికేషన్ మనం ఇన్వాల్వ్ అవ్వట్లా గొడవ జరిగింది సరే నేను తర్వాత చెప్తాను ఆయనతో ప్రాబ్లం లేదు మనకి బట్ అయితే నేను మాట్లాడలేదు క్లాస్లో మళ్ళీ మాట్లాడతాను All of the trades, it has come. Okay, right. I need to copy the rest so that you will all be seeing everything. No issue. So, the person response is very slow because of something. Anyway. Some kind of problem. The script is okay. Scan to execute the proxy. Otherwise, I will do differently. Settings. So we have got to know about directives. Introduction expressions also we got to know. So you can write any expression with AngularJS. I should have copied that part. Did I copy that or not? Yesterday. My work. Yesterday was the 26th. Yeah, it's not there. It must be there on the other side. Right, let's again. Wait. Let me create another folder for today's work. How many of you are able to finish the task that was given yesterday? I mean the task just now. Present కొడుకు అన్ని బ్లూ కలర్లో మారుతున్నాయి. ఒక్కరిది యాక్షన్ కొడితే ఒక్కరిది ఓకే. ఇది ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ప్రజెంట్ కొడితే మారలా. బ్లూ కలర్ మారిపోవాలి కదా. అది ప్రెజెంట్ కాబట్టి బ్లూ కలర్ మారాలి కదా. అదొకటి ఎంతవరకు అయిందా మీది ఎలాగే అయిందా? అదే అదే అలా నేను అడిగింది ఏంటో మీకు ఐ కుడ్ నాట్ వెదర్ యూ ఆర్ ఏబుల్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ ఇట్ ఆర్ నాట్ ఐ డోంట్ నో. I asked that if I click on present it has to change all the things and it has to change everything into blue color, blue foreground. Absent all should go into red color and all should be marked as absent. If any one of them make it as a present, after making everybody absent, if I make anybody as a present, it has to change the color to blue. If some, for example, if I mark everybody present and if I mark one or two candidates absent, they should become red. I don't know whether you are able to understand the task again or not. So the task is very clear and simple. If I click on absent, all this should be marked as absent and all should become red. If I click on present, all should be marked as present, all should become blue. If after marking all of them as present, and if I mark anybody as an absent, they should become red. One or two persons, whatever it is. I may be, since I'm only talking about of everybody present and two candidates are absent, I'm marking them as absent so that they should become red. For example, many students are absent in the class, only few people are present. I'm after taking everybody as absent and I'm changing some of them as present. When I'm changing them as present, they should change the color to blue. So that is a task. So that what does it mean, you know? Not only capturing the top level event, you need to capture every other event when it is clicked. When you have clicked some object and you have to change the parent of its object, that particular object, that particular click, whatever it is. So that's why you need to be very careful. Okay, otherwise you need to understand. You need to capture the click aspect on all the objects. All these objects click simple. You need to select using jQuery, but you need to attach the click operation on all these things. Then only it will work. So that's what I am expecting you to do. For example, let me show you the way. Okay, what is the thing here? Any element, if I want to inspect this element, that element has an ID or something, not an ID, name called, oh, it is 0 and actually. Any same attendance 0, right? Attendance 01, but whether it is an absent class or present class, we don't know. So you can also put a class for each also. That's another one. Okay, whatever it is. When you are clicking something with the name of something, you need to mark accordingly. If it is an absent, then you need to mark it as an absent. So that's how you need to capture each of these things. And whenever it is clicked, if it is name like absent, if that name like absent, then you are supposed to do it has to be changed as the color. So the ID. So that's how we can always change. So the model here is you need to capture, you need to actually attach click operation for all the elements which are of type input having ID like ATT. Otherwise, you can also put it like say, okay, ATT underscore absent. When something is like that, you need to attach the click operation. It's a function which has to change its color. Now here you are supposed to do something here, right? So you can also use this also, $this. This dot parent dot parent of parent dot css color red. So now whenever I click absent, it has to change the color red, whichever it is. Whichever the one whenever I click it is, it has to change the color red. Right? So now similarly you need to attach the similar such click function to present also. When somebody is present, it has to change to black. Or blue. Now if you click something like this, it will automatically change it to blue. If you click red, so if you click anything, it will automatically get changed. But that is also changing. You need to exclude this. That also you can do it anyway. Or if you can also include it, you can simply remove something and all, whatever it is. So I am just attaching a click operation for all of them with a single jQuery selector. So this is also the way that you can do. When any input radio, absent radio is clicked, you need to change the parent CSS color red. That's it. You change it. Simple way. And similarly, that what we have done the other one also, property is changed. By adding these two into document ready, that's good enough. It will solve the task or what we are actually asking for. Now, any questions so far with regard to AngularJS? Now, Angular controllers. Save link as. So this is a simple app that we already have done yesterday, and we have done initialization and everything. Again, so why am I doing it again? I would have copied it, but when you are typing many times, you can learn it very easily and it will register in your mind. Otherwise, it will not register in your mind. Control O. Desktop. My work. 27. AngularJS example. So that will. So that now I have done. I'm able to understand. I'm able to reproduce it. What I have learned something yesterday. So that's why you need to always learn it in the same way what I'm actually trying to show you. So we have done something like ng bind. You can also bind something also. That's what we already talked about. So how do you bind it? How do you bind some input element? So for example, I want to say paragraph ng bind or span ng bind is equals to the name, whatever it is, name. Hi, so and so span. Now I am binding that input from the previous element. So this is ng bind. So whenever you are binding the bind, whatever the input that you are passing, it will the inner HTML will be replaced by this one. So the span inner HTML will be replaced by this one. Hello Ramesh, nice to meet you. Hi Ramesh. Yes. Whatever it is. So that's what you are actually doing it. So that ng bind we have tried yesterday. And similarly, what else did we try yesterday? Ng init. Ng init you can also try. That's what ng or Angular init. Angular init is equal to, you can write something. So last name, L name is equal to nbn. You want to write nbn. Semicolon is the one which is going to separate multiple things. Last name is equal to nbn. It is going to be a string. So when it is a string, you need to enclose it in a single quotes. Or if you are putting double quotes, single quotes there, you need to enclose it in a single quotes. Whichever it is. It's a combination of those things. Now if you want to bind that one, this one together, name plus last name. Name plus last name. I'm binding there. So hello NBN. Hello Ramesh NBN. Here I did not appended that. Only I have appended here. The space, didn't I add the space there? Okay, space is to be added. Space is to be added there. Hello Ramesh NBN. So whatever it is. So that's what ng init. Whatever the initialization parameter that you pass that we have tried yesterday. We have tried ng repeat. We have tried ng repeat, ng bind, ng app, okay, ng model. And what else did we try? An expression. An expression like this. So this expression, if you put numbers, the numbers will be there. It's a quick glance of what we have done yesterday. Now today Angular controllers we are trying to learn. What is a controller basically? What is a controller normally? A controller is the one what actually defines the actions. Am I right? So you need to define your actions, and accordingly you can call or you can initiate whichever the action that you want to, or whatever it is, or a default action, whatever it is. So now here in your app might be having some controllers here. So here a small example here you see. So a controller can be written like this. In a script you can write your own controller. So let us try to do something like this. So Angular.module. You need to understand the Angular.module, right? So let us try writing a small controller here. So let me write a small controller here. Where app is equal to, or x is equal to, whatever it is, my app is equal to, or otherwise my app is equal to, right? So Angular dot module, and the module name that you need to give, my app, comma, it's an object, basically it's an object you are giving. So module, M-U-D-U-L-E, module. So you are actually defining a new object called my app. My app is an object now, Angular module object. Now you can add the controller to this my app. Okay. Now you can add the controller to my app. My app dot controller is equals to. You can write a function. Actually, it's a function. What is a controller? Nothing but it's a function basically. It's a function with a name and an anonymous function. A controller contains a name just like module. You are also adding a property object. It's something called the controller name. Okay, a controller name is equals to, right, is equals to, or my control Rob, I'm sorry, controller name that you need to add. So my CTRL, comma, it's a function, anonymous function. It's an anonymous function. So you need to always, when you are typing something like this, you must be careful. That's what I'm telling. A curly brace and a normal bracket. Now you need to write your function. What do you want to do here? What do you want to do here? You can write it. So you can define your own variables and all inside this controller, so on and so forth. It's a controller. Basically, it's a small controller that you want to make use of this controller to do or to initialize the values. So I want to initialize the last name and first name inside this controller, so that the controller will actually initialize the thing. So you can also tell the scope. Basically, scope is also a variable here. When you are actually prepending dollar inside an Angular, it is going to become a variable, scope variable. So the scope is normally the thing. Okay, let's actually understand it. Now this function takes something called scope. So now you can tell the scope dot first name is equal to Ramesh. And scope dot last name is equal to NBN. Now I want to change this. Now earlier the app is blank app. No, I want to use my own app now. I have created a new app with a small simple controller. This controller does not do anything. It just initializes two properties of scope variable. That scope variable is going to be used inside the thing, whatever you want to do. So you can always directly use the first name and last name inside your application. Now let's say modify the application now. So this is what I have done. Whatever he has done, I have done the same way almost. Assume that. Now I want to use this app now. What is the app name? My app. This is not the one. This is a variable. This is the app name. Okay, my app. My app. What is the controller name? What is the controller I want to use? This is the controller name. My CTRL. Controller name is my CTRL. My CTRL. My controller. Now I don't want you to take any input, or you can also use it anyway. You can also take the inputs also. First name, and you want to also capture the last name also. Your first name, your last name. Your last name, say for example. Your first name, your last name. I want to keep two things here. F is first name, L is last name, L name. F name, L name. Now I want to hello, F name and L name. Okay, just first name is good enough. Now this small app, now what am I actually, instead of initializing here, I'm actually asking the controller to do some job. So my controller is initializing the values within the scope. Within the scope, my controller is actually initializing the value. The scope is actually to the application. The scope is to the application. The controller, the scope is to the application. So if you observe it now, okay, Ramesh and NBN, how did they come? How did they come? How did they? I did not type. I just refreshed it. But it is showing Ramesh and NBN already there. How it is coming? The controller is actually doing this job. Now if you change something here, okay, for example, Padma, it is working, rest of the functionality is as it is. But the functionality, how it is actually got added the value, because of these two variables. If you, for example, if you comment them out, if you comment them out, what happens? Does it work or not? It should work. Though they have not initialized, no worry. It should work. Now you can type Ramesh, you can type NBN, it should work. There is no point. You are initializing something to the, you are initializing something within the controller. Within the controller also you can do something other, or you can also do some other jobs also, right? So this is how a controller can be added to a module. Now what are you doing here? We are actually a controller. Where this controller can be contained? The controller can also be always be contained inside an app only or module only. You can add your controllers to the module. Right now you need to first create a module with a variable say X. Now you need to add a controller to the X dot controller. It should also work. No difference. Means that is a controller object, or say a module object. What about the module? Now let me come back. So again, so this is a small app. If you initialize this, they are initialized. If you do not initialize, they are not initialized. That's it, simply. Now they are initialized with the values that are mentioned inside the scope. So this is a simple controller. You understand again? Where can you add the controller? Where can you add the controller? In order to add a controller, you need an object. What kind of object it is? Just recall again. What is this object X? What is X object? It is a Angular module object. Without having Angular module object, you cannot add the controller. So this is X dot controller means controller is a property or function or a method. So you can also add methods to the properties also. I will let you know otherwise. So that extra controller you are defining. How are you defining? You are giving a name to your controller. So for example, instead of my controller, you type XYZ. What is your controller name now? XYZ or XYZ. XYZ. Now, if you want to use this controller, you need to tell your controller name called XYZ. Then also it will work. No objection, no problems. So this is the name of the controller that what you are doing. Whatever the controller name that you pass here, for example, it's a ZYX. Does it work? No, it won't work. You check it. So you need to tell the controller, this is my controller. You do, means my application is within the scope of this controller. It will take care about it. So my application within the scope of this particular controller, it can do something there. And similarly my app one. Then also it doesn't work. Since you are not, though you are defining the proper controller, but you are not telling the app name. So in such case also it won't work. It's not working. Because you are not mentioning the correct app. So app and controller. If you do not give the controller name, then it may be working somehow or other. This works again. That works. Rest of it, as it is, it works, no problem. Though you do not tell the controller, it works. But if you are telling a controller, you need to tell the correct controller. Though means my app is there. Since my app is there is no issue at all. Since you can see its app. But the rest of the functionality is not changed. We are not telling that. Now if you want to add the controller only, then you need to add the right controller to your app. Then only it will work. So this is what you need to understand, a controller and scope. So scope is the application object, the owner of the application variables and functions. So that's what, scope. So controller creates two property variables. That's what we have already done. So it's within the scope. So two property variables called fname and lname, but that's what we have done. Right, the controller name is myCTRL. Application name is myapp or whatever it is. And model also, you are actually still using models. Though I do not use models, it works fine. But you can models work. For example, I am just commenting it out. Model cheppatledu aina kuda work chestaleda chestadi. Though you comment out the models, then rest of the things will work as it is, no problem. Kept the input change avudante, fixed ga untundante. You cannot change these values. That's it. But it is working. Though you comment out these input elements, it works. So models are not mandatory. Models are not mandatory. Okay? So you need to understand it. So now you can also tell the scope names. So scope lo meer ippudu indaka enti manam array pettam kada ninna. Now you can add the array here in the scope and you can put your controller or whatever it is, and you can also directly do. Ikkada em chesadu object directory dot controller ani add chesadu. Object dot controller ani madhyalo variable teeskuni atla cheyaka lekunda directly. Now you can also do the similar such job again. Let us see another example now. File, save as, example 3. Ninna 3 అయిపోయినాయి అనుకున్నాను కదా. The date wise only got no issue. Now let me add my controller. Correct name. My controller in right. Let me add a table here. Right? So data. My data on the actually. $scope dot data is equals to, we must be having the table data. In our previous examples, table data. Table session ఇప్పుడు ఇదేనా ఇది కాదు can you recall the date ఇదే ఇది కాదా ఇది కాదు ఈరోజు కాదు we must be having some table data. ఎక్కడ ఉంది అది ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది కదా table create. Right, view page source the data control C. Right, let me add my data directly here. I've been funny. Now this data can be taken into this here. Now I can actually take this data and you can create a table say id is equal to say tbl1 table row ng repeat is equal to x in data or for every row in data right td ng repeat is equal to every column in row for every r in row antanu r antande for every r for every c in r you want to write C. You want to write the C value. Now this is my table. I want to generate this table. Example 3 annana. Now let me open this example. Control O. Example 3. There is something wrong. What could be the wrong? Something wrong here. Inspected. There are some errors. So what could be the errors here? Let us see. Scope data. Say data 1 number. Okay, data ante tappaledu. It's an array of something. What am I trying to do? Scope. Controller name, okay. Controller name తప్పు రాసాం కదా, అక్కడ ఎక్స్పోజర్ రాసి మై కంట్రోలర్ రాయాలి కదా. స్టిల్ దెర్ ఇస్ ఎ ప్రాబ్లం. ఏంటిది? రిపీట్, ఎన్జీ రిపీట్. ఇక్కడ చిన్న తప్పు చేశాను. ఏం చేశాను? ఏముంటుంది అది ఎర్రర్? Home teacher, my work angle min 470, compile so and so min days, ఏదో ఇష్యూ వచ్చింది దానికి యాంగర్ min. ఒక పని చేద్దాం. స్కోప్ డేటా 1. అది ప్రాబ్లం. ఏంటి ప్రాబ్లం? ఇది ప్రాబ్లం. ఆర్ ఇన్ డేటా 1 డబుల్ కోట్స్లోనే సింగిల్ కోట్లోనే పెట్టుకోవాలి. అది బ్రాకెట్లో పెట్టా. scope dot lname, and lname is a variable now. You can use it. So scope object is available across the application. A function now you can use it. So this is a small example of what you have seen. Put the data ikkada kaadu. I want to store this data or this thing inside a file. You can keep it. Okay. You can keep all your Angular app data and everything into your module. But you want to keep it inside a thing. So you can just copy it, Control C, create another small JS file, new, Control V. Now you can save this file, save as, let's save that down 27th. Intlo, my table data, and my ng table data, for example, Angular kada, my ng table data.js, and save just my ng table data.js. For reference, for having good names. So not table data. So that's one. What I want to say. I can use it for everywhere. Across the website, I can use it. Rendu pages lo kuda same table kavali. I need not replicate it. This JS file, it will do the job for us. I want to present it something in different way and some other thing. Now I have saved this. Now I will go and remove this part. SRC is equal to my ng table data.js. That's it. And just instead of writing the script block, I'm taking it away from the thing. Now my thing is available across all of the pages. Now even though you have done that, now you can access your application the same way what you are doing. Now the same thing is also working fine here. But that in page you can use the same data. That's what. Data in multiple places we need not keep it. So isolation. So now you got to know how to write a controller. Let us repeat again. How do we write a controller? Let us write again blank, something like this, for example. Let me write a controller. How do I write controller? So you can separate it or you can remove it. For example, if you don't want to use it a variable name, so like Angular dot module controller name or app name, comma. It actually expects a blank. Okay, we will talk about a blank array. Dot controller again, controller name. See your controller name. Controller name, comma, function, anonymous function. You will be writing like this. So function, let me document wrap. Function is expect some scope. Is a global variable, right? So this is what you are actually expecting it. Now you can write your controller actions. Controller actions and definition. Controller definition. Or controller job. Whatever the job that you want to assign, controller job statements. And initialize. So everything you can use it here. So it's a pattern, what I'm telling. Directly you can add a controller like this. You need not use where module create support controller add chekala. You can directly add the controller like this. An app name followed by controller name. Now next one is Angular filters. Angular filters. This is to transform the data into currency, filter, lowercase, order by, uppercase, whatever it is. You want to do something, you can do it. That's a filter. Every filter normally used by a pipe symbol here. For example, let me show you a small example here. I want to convert all the first names into, or otherwise, okay. The whole table data should be converted into uppercase. Now I'm just changing the controller like this. Not controller, sorry. Application like this. See, let me apply the filter. Uppercase. C capital of question. Uppercase. Let us see. See, you let it filter through uppercase, right? Let us see the output now. That's it. Lowercase convert cheyali mottham table data ni. You can filter it through lowercase. Lowercase. So that's a filter that I am applying. I am applying a small filter like that. I want to represent something in a currency format. Currency. Actually, currency and లేదు అక్కడ. ఏమైనా number ఉంటే it will be converted as currency. Only ఒక నెంబర్ ఏమైనా ఆ నెంబర్స్ అన్ని కరెన్సీ ఫార్మాట్ లో కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తుంది. డాలర్ మిగతా అన్ని వదిలేసింది. Those which are numbers, they were converted as currency value. Rest of all were left blank. So you can apply the filter. Pipe means filter. Pipe means filter. Okay. Just like ఇక్కడ కూడా అంతే మా లినక్స్ లో కూడా ఫిల్టర్ అంతే ls pipe grep r అని ఉన్న వెళ్ళి ఫిల్టర్ వస్తాయి r అని ఎక్కడైనా ఉంటుంది ఫిల్టర్ I am filtering the ls output by using another one whatever I am going to do. So that's same. The pipe is a filter basically. ఎక్కడైతే r అని కనపడుతుందో it's showing all of them as r. But if you want to only look for anything, RT. Let's check for RA. There are only in two cases where RA is existing. So it's a filter. So Unix filter for how it is working the filter, the same way it works. Select the subset of items from an array. You can also filter. Now you understand adding filters to expressions. Class name uppercase. Okay, lowercase. Currency filter, any number that you can convert as a currency filter. Quantity into price, currency. It will put a dollar in front of it normally. Adding filters to directives. So here it's another filter now. X dot names order by country. It's saying X in names, order by country. So it's actually trying to look for some other one. So instead of order by country, if you want to order by some other one, let us see what happens. So order by index. Okay, order by index. Can I do that? I don't know. Okay. Let us see. Order by. So it's actually the property that what it's trying to do. Now x.data, pipe it to order by in index I am trying to do order by 0 1. Let me try it. What happens? It won't work. Did it work? 130, 130, 139, 139, 142. Worst case ఉంది. So this is a దీంట్లో ఈ basis మీద sort చేయమన్నాను. అలా కాదు, I want to sort it by based on the third one, 3 means 2, order by 2. Detroit, Hyderabad, Ohio, Secunderabad, Tirupati, Vijayawada. Same వచ్చినాయా? కాదు కదా, అదేలే. Correct. Order by 0. First column is sort అయిపోతుంది. So I am filtering the data itself. I am filtering the data in the order by. So you can do an order by. Or if the data is in the form of objects, that also you can order by. If data is an array of arrays కాబట్టి it's a different method. Array of objects అయితే then you need to use the property value. So order by 2 means the second column. Okay? You can do an order by. So ఇప్పుడు నాకేంటంటే one thing I want to know. ఇందాక order by అన్నప్పుడు ఎలా వచ్చింది చూడండి ఒకసారి. Let me also do some other one. So what is the case here? Output ఎలా వస్తుంది order by అన్నప్పుడు ASR 130 130 139 రామ రవి కరెక్ట్గానే వచ్చినాయి కదా. నాకు ఇక్కడ నెంబర్స్ మ్యాచ్ అయితే నెక్స్ట్ కూడా ఇదే ఆర్డర్లో ఉంది. డేటా చూస్తున్నా, విజయవాడ తిరుపతిది ఆర్డర్ అదే ఉంది, అబ్దుల్ బాబు అదే ఆర్డర్. ఏదో ఒక దాంట్లో ఆర్డర్ మార్చుదామని చూస్తున్నాం. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ ఒకటి మార్చుదామని చూస్తున్నాం. హైదరాబాద్ ఉంది కదా, ఇక్కడ హైదరాబాద్ బదులు హెచ్ కన్నా ముందు వచ్చేది పెడదాం, తర్వాత వచ్చేది పెడదాం. ఓకే, టంగుటూరు పెడదాం, డేటాలో టంగుటూరు పెడదాం. ఎవరిది? ఎవరి డేటా? రామా డేటా కదా. తిరుపతి పెడదాం. చెప్తా. ఇప్పుడు ఏమైంది ఇక్కడ చూడండి, 139 రామ రవి కదా, ఇది ఆర్డర్ బాగానే ఉంది. 139 తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ ఆర్డర్లో ఇది తీసుకుంది, ఫస్ట్ కాలం తీసుకుంది. కానీ నాకు నెక్స్ట్ ఆర్డర్లో నెక్స్ట్ థర్డ్ కాలం తీసుకోవాలి అని అనుకున్నాను. ఏం చేయాలి ఇప్పుడు? సో డబుల్ ఫిల్టర్ అప్లై చేయాలి. ఆ ఫిల్టర్ మీద ఫిల్టర్ అప్లై చేయండి. ఫిల్టర్డ్ బై అగైన్ ఆర్డర్ బై కాలం 2 ట్రై చేద్దాం. ఫస్ట్ కాలం 1 మీద సార్ట్ చేసి ఎక్కడైనా మ్యాచ్ అయితే కాలం 2 మీద సార్ట్ చేసి చూద్దాం అసలు ఏం జరుగుతుందో. ఐ హ్యావ్ స్మాల్ డౌట్ హియర్. ఐ డోంట్ నో వెదర్ దే వర్క్ టుగెదర్ ఆర్ నాట్. ఆర్ ఓకే, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ సో ష్యూర్. యాక్చువల్లీ ఇలా చేయకూడదు. ఫస్ట్ ఆర్డర్ 2 మీద సార్ట్ చేసి తర్వాత ఆర్డర్ 1 మీద చేయాలి. బట్ ఎనీవే ఇది రాంగ్ ఆర్డర్. ఏమైంది? కరెక్టేనా? now it's correct. First 130, 139, 142 కరెక్ట్గానే ఉంది. డెట్రాయిడ్ ఒహాయో, సికింద్రాబాద్, తిరుపతి ఆర్డర్ వచ్చింది. నెక్స్ట్ దానికి ఆర్డర్ వచ్చింది రవి రామ. రవి నెక్స్ట్ వస్తారు రామ కన్నా యాక్చువల్గా. బట్ we actually asked the next second sorting order is the next another one. So that's how actually we can apply a filter on filter. One filter is already applied and again we are applying another filter to do some more job. Filtering input also. If you want to filter the input, you can do it. So ng repeat x names filter test whatever it is. Based on the test, you want to do order by country. So that's what. Now you want to filter the input, right? Filter the input. X or names, x in names. Filter the test, right? Okay. Let us put another input element there. కొంచెం దీన్ని let's save it as file, save as 3 బదులు 4 అంటాం. I will give you a break after that. Order data, okay. I want to filter by a test. What is the test? A test అనేది ఒక ఇన్పుట్ ఎలిమెంట్ యాక్చువల్గా. టేబుల్ పైన ఒక ఇన్పుట్ ఎలిమెంట్ డిఫైన్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, టైప్ filter text input type is equal to text and ng model is equal to test. అంతే. సేవ్ దిస్. ఇప్పుడు ఏం జరుగుతుందో గమనించండి. యూ విల్ బి అండర్స్టాండింగ్ సో మెనీ థింగ్స్. ఇది ఇన్పుట్ రాలేదు ఎందుకు? ఏంటి? ఓహో, ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 4 ఓపెన్ చేయాలి కదా. ఫైల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 4 ఓపెన్ చేయాలి. ఇప్పుడు నేను తిరుపతి డేటా తీసుకోవాలి. టీపీటీ తిరుపతి డేటా వచ్చింది. లేదు ఇండియా వాళ్ళు కావాలి, వచ్చింది. లేదు రామ్ ఆర్యన్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరూ కావాలి. మీరు అక్కడ టైప్ చేస్తుంటే అది వచ్చేస్తుంటుంది. ఆ ఫిల్టర్ అవుతుంది. డెట్రాయిడ్ డిఈ you can easily filter the text. ఇప్పుడు మీకు కావాల్సిన దాంట్లో సెర్చ్ చేయడం ఇట్స్ వెరీ ఈజీ నౌ. లేదు 130 ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరూ కావాలి, లేదు 13. యూ కెన్ అప్లై ది ఫిల్టర్స్. ఈజీ కదా ఇలాంటిది. ఇప్పుడు ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ రియల్లీ డూ ఇట్, ఇట్స్ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ ప్రొడ్యూస్. బట్ నౌ విత్ AngularJS it's pretty much easy to filter what you are looking for. You can see, you can check on the whole table data. ఎంత పెద్ద డేటానో ఉన్నవ్వండి. You can directly do some test and you can retrieve or you can only show those rows. Okay, US వాళ్ళు కావాలి. US so that's how the test is working. Very easy to filter the data, input data. Okay, every row this test will be done On every row this test will be done. And ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఇన్పుట్ డేటాని ఫిల్టర్ చేసి సార్ట్ కూడా చేసి పెట్టేయచ్చు ముందే. Pipe it to again order by. Pipe it to order by. Order by. Say for example I want to sort it on the edge. By default ఇలా ఉంది without any filter. So automatic edge में sort అయిపోయింది right now the data itself. Now you can sort it. You can easy a filter apply చేసినా that's get sorted and it will the output will be given accordingly. What I so that's all. Okay, let us take a short break. Let's join again. Is it interesting? Learning AngularJS? Yeah. Filter text.
కాదు ఇది సార్ మామూలుగా రోజు 7 పెట్టేదాన్ని మార్నింగ్ ఈ పాపని లేపి అలారం ఆఫ్ చేసిన తప్ప అది సచ్చా నేను చదువుతుందా ఇంకా స్టార్ట్ కాలేదు క్లాస్ సార్ డౌట్ ఏమంటే ఏది కాదంటే పెట్టుబా అదే ఇట్లుంటుంది
ఏంటి పైకి పెట్టాలా?
ఓ ఇది ట్రై చేసినాడు వస్తాం వస్తా వస్తా సార్ సార్ పక్కన నుండి అడ్వైజ్ చేస్తే నిద్ర కూడా అంతే ఇప్పుడే సార్ 3 days పడుకున్నాను 6కి వచ్చినాను సార్ తను వచ్చింది ఇప్పుడే సార్ రా నిద్రపై వచ్చినాను ఏం చేస్తున్నావే
అట్లా జారిపోయింది కదా
సార్ అయితే
ప్రొజెక్టర్ లో ఉంది ప్రాజెక్ట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ ఓపెన్ చేయలేదు వేరే మళ్ళీ పెడతావు సార్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఎట్లా అర్థం వచ్చింది
ఎదురని Thank
పోయినారు ఎక్కకుండా మీరు చెప్పినప్పుడు తర్వాత కాదు నేను దాంట్లో కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ కనీసం అవ్వాలని నేను ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ అదృష్టం ఉన్నట్టు 2 ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ ముందులో ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసినాను ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ అని గుర్తుపెట్టుకునేట్టు కావాలా అందరికీ టాప్ కళావతి ఎవరు తెచ్చుకోలేదు కళావతి
నేను మాత్రం తెచ్చాను
అడిగాను అడిగితే
మీరు తెచ్చుకున్నారా మరి జీగా అంటే చాలా సారో సందర్భం లక్ష్మి లక్ష్మి
So you can also try JSON data, JavaScript object notation, and you can also try with some data with JSON. Let's do it. Already we have tried earlier. Let's do it again. So my data 1 is there. Let me also define another one is called data 2. $scope dot data 2 is equals to, I want to define the same data. It's again an array containing multiple objects. Instead of putting like this, let me copy the same thing again. So curly brace, name, comma, say height 139, city, Tirupati, state, yes, country, India. Curly brace. It's a curly brace. Please understand it. Document wrap, line wrap. So this is one object. Similarly, copy the rest for other things. It does the same way. Curly brace, name, height. ఎక్కువ వద్దని కూడా తక్కువ పెట్టుకోండి, నో ప్రాబ్లం. సిటీ, స్టేట్, voice is not audible. Okay, is it not audible for other classes also? Only one. What about the other rooms? Is it not audible? You confirm, Agna, room 1 and other people. Is it not audible? Room 1 said it's not audible. Yeah, room 3 means you need to restart again. Room 1. That shut down and go to meeting, close go to meeting and connect again. I'm just typing the same thing. That's what it is. Country India. It's a JSON object. Basically, JSON objects, what do you know? We also keep these things in a double quotes. Doesn't matter whether you keep them in double quotes or not. Don't worry. Let's keep it as an object. That's it. Similarly, name, height, city, state, country. So 3 objects. One more object. Name, height, city, state, country. Curly brace. Okay, you can remove the rest. Don't worry. This is it's actually object data. Array containing objects. An array data to containing objects. So for this matter, if you want to represent something here, then you need to understand those things. Right. Let me repeat another app, another thing, whatever the controller file save as. Example file. So example file. Now same controller, I want to use data 2 here. Data 2 I want to use. For row, no issue. For columns, there are issue. You cannot generate. Try it out. It will not be available. It doesn't come. You check it. What is going to happen? Right? Let us check what is going to happen here. Does it actually get represented? That's what I have in doubt. It cannot or it may not. Example 5. Okay, it has represented. Okay. But somehow it's not represented in the order what we have actually given. It's not ordered. It's not the ordered one. It represented on its own, whatever the order, does not matter. Because the order in which the names came inside. What is the order of the data here? So, name N, H height, C city, S, C. So first C will come, city will come, TPD. Then country will come. Then height will come. Then name will come. Then state will come. So the properties are again sorted by those things. So that's why you are seeing those sorting options. So let us remove the sort option here. The output, and let us see what happens. No order by here. You can apply the test, no problem, but same order will be seeing here, output. TPT India 139 Rama TS, which is not the order in which what we wanted to really represent. So JSON data object, if you want to retain the order, there are different things, right? But you want to actually represent in the way what you want to present, then this is not the way. But still other things work. Other things work here, no problem. But the data representation order is not retained. If you want to do it, you should actually avoid this TD. You need to write all TDs separately. So now you need to write all TDs separately. That's how do you write? TD R comma name first. First name. Then height you want to write. Height R dot height. Height. Then R dot city. Then R dot state. Then R dot country. Now you can see the output in the what you want actually Rama. So the order in which what you are actually expecting, that's what you may be seeing here. Now the filter, everything works. Now if you want to sort them in a order, default order of height, then the thing should be given like this. Height fit to order by height. Order by height. HEIGH. Order by height. Now you will be seeing the things will get sorted by order by height in each year. 130, 139, 139, 140. So this is a JSON object data. Same data, but when you are actually using objects, use them by the property names. So that is the best way to do. Don't use the ng repeat for column data. Now let's move to the next part. So filters we got to know. Uppercase, lowercase, filter also you can do some test, whatever it is. Uppercase, lowercase, filter, order by, and currency. These are the basic filters. So what is the character to be used for filtering? What is the character to be used? Pipe. The pipe character is to be used for applying the filter on an input data or wherever it is. Next one is Angular HTTP. So actually where is the data? Basically it is available on the servers. where does this Angular JS works or runs? It's on the client. So the data getting supplied from the server to the client. So that's why you need to understand these things. So I want to get some data like this. For example, you just call the same thing. Control C. Right. You copy this link, open another tab and check what kind of data you will be getting. Customers.php. www.schools.com/angular/customers.php. What kind of data it is? Relevant data. మీరు ఇలా డౌట్ ఉంటే ఇలా చూడండి. వ్యూ పేజ్ సోర్స్ చూడండి. ఈ డేటా ఎలా ఉందంటే ఏంటి అర్థం? JSON డేటా. సో జావాస్క్రిప్ట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నోటేషన్. ముందు కర్లీ బ్రేస్ ఉంది అంటే ఏంటి అర్థం? కర్లీ బ్రేస్ ఉందంటే ఫస్ట్ ఏంటి అర్థం? ఆబ్జెక్ట్. ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ప్రాపర్టీ రికార్డ్స్. రికార్డ్స్ లో ఏమున్నాయి మళ్ళీ? యారే. యారేలో ఏమున్నాయి మళ్ళీ? ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. So this is a JSON data basically. This whole data is that you can read, right? So this is the data that you can get into your AngularJS. So the data that what you are looking for is AngularJS. So let us see how it actually comes out. So let us see how to assign this data. There is something called $HTTP. There is something called $HTTP. So the same data, you can get it. Okay, you got to know how to put the data inside your array or array of objects, whatever it is. Now I want to put my data inside or from a server. So I want to use the same data now. This is the data I want to use from the server. Now how can I use it? So there is a way here. So you can also get the third data set or whatever it is. You can also set the third data set, data 3. Data 3 can also be obtained or otherwise whatever it is. I would like to tell you another small example here. So I want to assign in the same controller, I want to assign $scope or okay, I will keep it. Okay, $scope. Okay, I will first of all let me get the data. So that's from http.get. So I want to get some data from HTTP. Where is the URL? The URL is already there. Customers.php. This is where I want to get it. Right? So this get operation may succeed or may fail. Okay, ఇది రావచ్చు రాపోవచ్చు కదా. The same data may come and may not come. So that's what you are trying to get something. So if you get success, if you are succeeding, SUCCES, you can success. If it is a success, if you get this data successfully, then you want to do something anonymous function, some anonymous function that you want to try it out. Okay, so in such case you want to call function response. If you are getting something, means you will be getting some response. So you want to do something anonymous by getting the response. Now this response contains the response data, whatever it is. So you will be getting the response. The response is nothing but the JSON data. That response contains the records. Right? I want to assign all these records to my data 3. $scope.data3 is equal to response.records. Response లో records ఉన్నాయి కదా. రికార్డ్స్ అనే ఒక ప్రాపర్టీ ఉంది చూడండి అక్కడ. ఇక్కడ అవుట్పుట్ ఎంత చూస్తే the records are there. I want to get a response. Is this whole thing is a response. Response is a JSON object in which I want to collect all the records from the response. So from the response I want to pick out the records into my scope data tree. That's it. Now if this is how by a get operation HTTP get, it tries to populate data tree now. It tries to populate the data tree in the background. Let me reload example 5. It has to reload, but I don't know whether it is. First of all, I'm not using it directly here. Am I using? I'm not using the data tree object here. I can use the data tree object. Okay, let me do again. So let me try to reload it. It's trying to load the data actually. Some error. Is there any error? You inspect element. Didn't I close something? Okay, there are errors. నేను తప్పు చేశాను ఎక్కడన్నా. Records on success function response. Huh? HTTP get. My data 3 is equal to ఇక్కడ ఆర్ అంటే ఆరే రెస్పాన్స్ ఆర్ పెట్టుకున్నా నీకు ఇష్యూ లేదు. రెస్పాన్స్ అనేది ఏం ప్రీ డిఫైన్డ్ వేరియబుల్ ఏం కాదు. అక్కడ నుంచి ఏదైతే అవుట్పుట్ వస్తుందో ఆ సక్సెస్ వాల్యూ విల్ బి పాస్డ్ టు ద ఫంక్షన్ అన్నమాట. లెట్ us see whether this function working or not. ఏమైంది ఇక్కడ? Now the HTTP is not defined. Why? Angular JS లో .http డిఫైన్ చేయలేదు అన్నాడు. ఎందుకు అలా? ఓకే రైట్ కరెక్ట్. HTTP డిఫైన్ చేయలేదు మనం, కరెక్టే. స్కోప్ లో చెప్పాలి కదా, ఫంక్షన్ లో స్కోపే కాదు HTTP కూడా వాడుకో అని చెప్పాలి. స్కోపే కాదు HTTP కూడా వాడుకో కంట్రోలర్ కి అని చెప్పాలి, లేకపోతే అది వర్క్ చేయదు. Now it must work. Yeah, data load అయిందో లేదో నాకు తెలీదు బేసికల్లీ. ఎర్రర్ లేకపోతే it must have been loaded the data, or it might be a failure also. Failure అయితే we can update something else. That also we can do. Okay, so I want to do that one also. Failure, data loading fail అయిందా సక్సెస్ అయిందో తెలియాలనుకున్నాను. So how do I do it? Let me add another small thing here. టేబుల్ తర్వాత చిన్నది యాడ్ చేద్దాం. డేటా స్టేటస్ పారాగ్రాఫ్. ఓకే, బైండ్ ng bind data status. ఓకే స్పాన్ పెడతాను. ఇది స్పాన్ పెట్టి ఫస్ట్ ముందు రాస్తాను data loaded from server. Data loading from server. Data loading from server. Server నుంచి data loading success అవ్వచ్చు, fail అవ్వచ్చు, right? So if it is success, I should see the success value there in the span. Data status, I want to do something here. You can also get it. Okay, let me do some more job here. Data assign చేయడమే కాకుండా I want to change the status. $scope dot data status is equal to success, succeeded or success, whatever it is. అది రాస్తున్నాను. అక్కడ డేటా ఐపెన్ పెట్టాను నేను. ఐపెన్ పెట్టకూడదు నార్మల్లీ, ఎందుకు మైనస్ ఆపరేటర్ కింద వర్క్ చేస్తుంది. It should be underscore. It cannot be hyphen. Now I want to see what is happening here. I want to check again. నేను రాలేదు అంటే సక్సెస్ అయిందా లేదో తెలియదు. Okay, let us check whether it is okay. Dollar status ng table data lo pettukunnanga తీసుకెళ్ళి. So records function r of records r dot records scope dot data 3. So scope dot data status so on and so forth. I want to use the data 3. First of all, let me try data 3. ఏమేమి ఉన్నాయి డేటా 3లో? నేమ్ ఉంది, సిటీ ఉంది, కంట్రీ ఉంది. ఆ మూడు లోడ్ చేద్దాం. నేమ్ ఉంది, సిటీ ఉంది, కంట్రీ ఉంది. మిగతా తీసేస్తున్నప్పుడు టైం బీయింగ్. ఐఎమ్ రిమూవింగ్ ఫర్ ద టైం బీయింగ్, రిమూవింగ్ రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది వాల్యూస్ ఫ్రమ్ ది thing. అన్ని పెద్ద అక్షరాలతో స్టార్ట్ అయింది. From data 3, I want to load the thing from data 3, R in data 3. Data load అవ్వలేదు కదా. Time తీసుకుంటుంది, but ఇంత టైం తీసుకుని it should have been loaded the data. It's taking the time basically. Yeah, data loaded. Time తీసుకుంటుంది loading. Data loading success and automatic. So the data got loaded from the server. So it's taking little more time to get the data. So once it is able to get the data successfully, it has actually loaded the page. Page load అయిపోయింది. Data loading from server success. So you can always get the data from the server also. This is how you can get the data from server. So this is for you it may be a little bit quicker than me. మీకు కొంచెం క్విక్ గానే వస్తుంది. సో ఆర్ రెస్పాన్స్ అనేది ఏం ప్రీడిఫైన్డ్ వర్డ్ కాదు. ఇక్కడ మీరు ఎక్స్ పెట్టుకుంటే ఆ ఎక్స్ వాడుకుంటారు అంతే. ఇక్కడ whatever the success it is going to return, you get the return result వస్తుందో, that's what you are trying to get it. So you can also get the object విడిగా పెట్టుకుని సక్సెస్ అయితే ఒక స్టేటస్, ఫెయిల్ అయితే ఒక స్టేటస్ కూడా పెట్టుకోవచ్చు. సక్సెస్ అయితే ఒకటి, ఫెయిల్యూర్ అయితే also you can get it, right? So you can also get such things here. Okay, for example, what status you will be getting, you can see. ఎలా మరి చెక్ చేసుకోవడం ఎలాగా గెట్, then you can do it like this. Go here, inspect element, console $HTTP dot get ఏంటది request is equal to అని అంటున్నాను. ఏం జరుగుతుందో చూద్దాం. HTTP is not defined, స్కోప్ వేరియబుల్ లో లేదు కాబట్టి కంట్రోలర్ స్కోప్ లో కావాలి కదా ఇది. This should be taken into controller scope. That's a problem. $HTTP request $HTTP. So how can I directly use JSON object, I don't know. So this is a okay, right? You can also get the JSON data. ఏమొస్తుందన్న రిక్వెస్ట్కి ఏమొస్తుందో తెలియాలి. Okay, let's see. I will get it. We can come back to that again. Anyway, we need to revisit the whole part again. So that you are able to load the data. You can also apply the filters. Filters also the same thing. London data, whatever it is there, you will be seeing that. The London data. Any data that is there, you can always see that. Germany. So you can apply the filters here. You can also apply the styles also. Styles automatically get updated dynamically. So JSON data, HTTP reads the JSON data from so-and-so. But the HTTP object బయటికి తేవాలంటే ఎలా అనేది I'm trying to get it. Okay, we will see it again. App లోపలే వస్తుంది అన్నమాట. App బయటికి రావడం HTTP రాదు. So that's the problem here. So I don't know how to get the data. Right, let us see. You try it out, everybody. Everybody practice it and get it get the data from the server. I can also keep the same data on our server also. Whatever the data that is returning there, I can also return the same data here. Control A, Control C. మన data record మన data we can return the records. Control C. We can also use our server to do the same data. You are not able to see something there. PXP and PHP and either ఆడుకోండి, no issue. Then we can also do it. ఇది మీరు వాడుకోవడానికి మీరు రాయక్కర్లేదు. కోడ్లు కూడా ఉన్నాయి దీంట్లో. డబుల్ కోట్లు లోపల సింగిల్ కోట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. Now you can use the same customers.php from the server also. మన server నుంచి తెచ్చుకోవచ్చు ఇప్పుడు. It doesn't take much time for us. Instead of getting the same data from the W3 schools, you can also get the same data from our server. 10.0.254/content/json_data/customers.php. 10.0.254/content/json_data/customers.php. Nothing. What happens here? You just check it. You will be understanding. 10.0.0 content/json_data customers.php. You will be getting the same data. Okay, customers.php leda. Okay, customer spelling the word. Yep. Now customers.php will be customers.php will be echoing the same thing. Echo yeah, the same thing, whatever you have seen there, you'll be seeing some data. Some names you cannot understand them, unfortunately. There's something there. Some unwanted characters are there, unfortunately. We don't worry about it. అవన్నీ వద్దు అని అనుకుంటే యూ కెన్ సింప్లీ టైప్ ద సింపుల్ ఇంగ్లీష్ అవర్ నేమ్స్. మన నేమ్స్ మనం టైప్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. దట్ మే బి బెటర్ సమ్ టైమ్స్. మనదే ఉంది కదా రేడా. We have our own data here. It's an array of something. This is copy as code. Control C. Now this is good enough to do the job. Now you can get the same customer data, whatever it is, customers. name, height, whatever it is. So the same records, now you can use it for your referencing purposes. Now you can change the code here like this. Now you need to change the examples 5 also. N is small case, C is small, because we have kept the things in this model. Now you can try it out. It is in null. No access control origin header is present on the requested resource. Okay. Now I need to send the header. I need to send the header first. Access controls underscore origin is equal to star. I need to allow the access control. That's the problem here. So I need to send the header before sending the data. So header so there is something called access control. I can also see the header also, but anyway. I need to put the access control. Access hyphen, control hyphen. Access hyphen, control hyphen, origin header. I need to send this header. So then only it works fine. In the PHP, I need to allow the request from anywhere. Now it should work. Same problem. What is the problem here? Unexpected token in object.parse. Okay, right. I have done another small mistake there. What is that? Can anybody tell it? As I was telling you that everything must be, even properties also must be enclosed in double quotes. That's what I am not doing. All values must be enclosed in double quotes. That is only the requirement. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Since JSON expects objects in the format of property string values. This is a kind of mandatory. So records, objects, records, so on and so forth, echo. Now it works. So that JSON, it's a pure JSON. You need to understand that all properties and also the values must be enclosed in double quotes. Then only it will work. So data loading from the server is succeeded. Anyway, we will come back to the server part again. First of all, you need to understand AngularJS part. Okay, Angular SQL can be understood and we complete PHP with MySQL and all. We will come back again to Angular SQL. Now the next one is Angular DOM. We have already seen tables. We have already seen tables, how to format tables from the data. It's already chesam manam. NG repeat dwara. We have already done it. The styling code we have done it. Okay, display with order by filter also we have done it. And uppercase also we have done it. Lowercase also. Index, there's another one what you need to understand. Now I want to put the tables. I want to write serial number also. CD $index. There is something called $index. $index plus 1. $index is the index number of the row. That one I want to keep it as a thing. Now if you observe it, you will also be seeing the serial number 1, 2, 3, 4. Even if you filter it, the numbers automatically get changed. For example, I want to filter the things RA. 1, 2 automatically comes there. Right, India. 1, 2, 3. So they automatically come here. There is something called index variable. Index variable refers to the index number of the row. Even odd also there. If you want to apply some background color based on even, based on odd, ngIf, there is a controller called ngIf. You can compare something ngIf, then based on that also you can try. But that's not required here right now. Don't worry about it. Anyway, manaki enduku we have CSS undi kada manaki. Why should I use this? But you need to try. You can try them. Then Angular SQL I am skipping for the time being. Since we need to come back with preparation of PHP, MySQL and Angular SQL. PHP MySQL అయితే మళ్ళీ వస్తుంది. నెక్స్ట్ PHP MySQL అవుతుంది కదా, అప్పుడు మళ్ళీ we will revisit some of the things. jQuery లో కూడా కొంచెం చెప్పలేదు మీకు. అలాగే అవి సెలెక్టెడ్గా వదిలేసుకుని వెళ్తున్నాం. Again we will come back to them when we are actually developing the server side applications. Right now we are most of the time we are concentrating on front end. ఎందుకు most data presentation everything is nowadays only on the front end. ఎందుకు why is it ఎందుకు బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ తగ్గించుకుని ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ పెంచుతున్నాం? ఎందుకు బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ లో వర్క్ తగ్గించి ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ లో పెంచుతున్నాం? Do you know that why? Earlier we used to only develop the application in the background and we used to send the content. మొత్తం అంతా నైస్ గా అక్కడ ప్రెజెంట్ చేసి we used to push the HTML content to the client. But now we are pushing the work to the client and reducing the work on the server. Server మీద వర్క్ తగ్గించి client కి వర్క్ పెంచుతున్నాం. What is it? Why are we doing that? First one, all the clients nowadays they are very powerful. Even a mobile device is minimum 700 megahertz processor ఉంటుంది. So that's a what. So now every client where the actual data is being rendered, they are so powerful. Not only that, all the devices are not unique. In good old days, there were only computers. There were not mobiles. Mobiles అనేవి లేవు. Mobiles లో డేటా చూడటం అనేది స్పెసిఫిక్గా లేదు. Now things are being changed. The different devices are coming into the picture. So instead of doing everything on the server side, let us push the data. Let us push the rules and other things to the client. Client will render the data. So that's the model here. So that's why most of the UI components and most of the work is being pushed to the clients now. Since clients are powerful enough to take care about themselves. Data is they will render it. So now the DOM, you already got to know about DOM. The same way the DOM works here too. For example, I want to disable something. I want to disable a button. I want to put a button which is disabled. Just let us try it out now. File save as. Example 6. Angular min.js. ng app okay. ఇవన్నీ తీసేద్దాం కొద్దిసేపు. స్క్రిప్ట్ ఇది ఏమొద్దులే టైం బీయింగ్. యాప్ కంట్రోలర్ బ్లాంక్ వదిలేయండి. యాప్ వద్దు, కంట్రోలర్ ఏమి మాట్లాడొద్దు. సో లెట్ us try testing the other parts. I want to put a button, but of type ng disable. ng disabled. అంతేనా? disabled కదా? is equals to ng disabled is equal to true. You can't keep me. You can't keep me. Button పెడుతున్నాను, that cannot be clicked. Example 6. You can't. This button is disabled button. Disabled is equal to true అని కూడా పెట్టొచ్చు. But this is ng control. So now ng application is controlling this. The ng application is controlling this job. The disabled and petna kuda the same thing. అది కూడా డిసేబుల్ ట్రూ ఏ. ఏం డిఫరెన్స్ ఉండదు మీకు, ఏం డిఫరెన్స్. కాకపోతే యు ఆర్ డిజేబులింగ్ త్రూ యాంగులర్ జేఎస్, అంతే డిఫరెన్స్. నాట్ మచ్ డిఫరెన్స్. jQuery కూడా దీన్ని డిసేబుల్ చేయొచ్చు, అలానే డిసేబుల్ చేయొచ్చు. బట్ యూ వాంట్ నో సంథింగ్ ఈస్ డిసేబుల్డ్ త్రూ ng. Disabled or ng disabled. Okay, Angular disabled. Similarly, enabled, ng enabled. ng disabled is equal to false. Automatically it is enabled. False పెట్టామంటే that's automatically it is enabled. So you can type checkbox ng model, you can put it anyway, you know it. Okay, a checkbox click cheste, then you can also do it. My switch, right? So ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే ఈ బటన్ క్లిక్ చేస్తే enable disable పెడుతున్నాడు. So he is putting another one to make it enable and disable. Okay, input type is equal to checkbox, model is equal to ఏం పెడదాం, ng my switch, ng disable my switch అలా పెడుతున్నాడు. Okay, so he is actually controlling from other one. That's what my switch. So he's trying to control through that. Could NG disabled and true false ela chestunadu? He's trying to NG model, not model, NG model. So this is through my switch. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఇది చెక్ బాక్స్ క్లిక్ చేస్తే అది డిసేబుల్ అవుతుంది, చెక్ బాక్స్ అన్చెక్ చేస్తే అది ఎనేబుల్ అవుతుంది. A true false value is being controlled through this model. So this is being controlled through that model. So earlier true false data pettukunda, we are controlling it through another model. We are controlling it through another model. Okay, ఇంకో పని చేద్దాం. ఇంకో ఇన్పుట్ టైప్ టెక్స్ట్ పెడతాం. ఇన్పుట్ type is equal to text, right? ng model say a number n, ng model n. If n is greater than 10, ఇక్కడ కొంచెం బిహేవియర్ అర్రనెస్ గా ఉంటుంది, డోంట్ వరీ. n 10 కన్నా పెద్ద అయితే ఎనేబుల్ చేయి, డిసేబుల్ చేయి. n 10 కన్నా చిన్నదైతే ఎనేబుల్ చేయి అని అంటున్నాను. కానీ మీకు ఖచ్చితంగా రిజల్ట్ రాదు, బట్ యూ విల్ సీ సమ్ యాక్షన్, సంథింగ్ ఇన్ యాక్షన్. యూ విల్ సీ సంథింగ్ ఇన్ యాక్షన్. ఇలా అయినా ఓకే, సంథింగ్ రాంగ్. Welcome. ఇక్కడ తప్పు రాశానా? బటన్ ఓహో అదే. థ్యాంక్ యూ. Right. You're right. ఇప్పుడు చెక్ చేసిన, ఇది చెక్ చేస్తే పోవాలి, తీసాం కదా. అది ఇక్కడ 2 చేస్తే డిజేబుల్ అవుద్దా లేదా? 2 గ్రేటర్ దాన్ 10 అవునా కదా? 2 గ్రేటర్ దాన్ 10 అవునా కదా? ట్రూఏ కావాలి కదా. సో 12. ఓకే, ఫాల్స్. సో 8కి ఏం కాదు, 20. సో ఆ నెంబర్ పెరిగితే అది డిజేబుల్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, 9 కాదు, 10 కూడా కాదు, 11. ఓకే. సో ఎనీ నెంబర్ దట్ if it crosses a number, then it automatically gets disabled. Atla, you can do something. So this is return just basically it is returning something that is actually comparison and true or false return just ante adi. A n value true or false compare చేస్తూ it will return the value. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే ఆర్ మై స్విచ్ ఇలా అంటున్నాను. ఇఫ్ n is greater than 10 ఆర్ మై స్విచ్, రెండిట్లో ఏది పెట్టున్నా కూడా డిజేబుల్ అవ్వాలి. చెక్ లేదు, అవ్వట్లేదే. ఆర్ అనేది రాదాకా, ఆర్ ఆపరేటర్ రాదా? ఎనీ ఎర్రర్? 20 ఓకే. ఇది ట్రూ అవ్వాలి కదా, నల్ స్విచ్ వాల్యూ ట్రూ అవ్వాలి కదా. దిస్ ఆర్ దట్ అన్నాం కదా, ఏ ఆర్ బి రెండులో ఏది ట్రూ అయినా టోటల్ వాల్యూ ట్రూ అవుతుంది కదా. అది ఇప్పుడు అవ్వాలి, వర్క్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఇది చెక్ చేసిన డిజేబుల్ అవ్వాలి, ఇది నెంబర్ పాయింట్ టైప్ చేసినా డిజేబుల్ అవ్వాలి. చెక్ చేసిన డిజేబుల్ అవ్వాలి, ఏదో నెంబర్ టైప్ చేసినా డిజేబుల్ అవ్వాలి. గ్రేటర్ దెన్ 10. దిస్ ఆర్ దట్. Okay, so this is how you are controlling it. NG disabled, NG whatever it is. So input button కూడా disable చేయొచ్చు ఒక్కోసారి కావాలనుకుంటే. If you want to disable something, you can also do something. So ఒకవేళ అది NG dirty అయినా కూడా you can do something. Okay, anyway, actions I will let you know. If something is changing, then you want to disable some other thing also you can do. The next one, so button disabled, you can also put it like this. Disable and petna kuda work chesti, and the difference between this and that is we are actually using NG control. NG show and NG hide, show or hide, that also you can control. ఆ బటన్ చూపించాలా వద్దా అని కూడా you can tell. ఆ బటన్ you can also say, instead of this one you can also use show, NG show. NG show కూడా మీరు you can do it. Initial గా show అవట్లా, if I click this it has to show the button. Or if I type something more than 10, it has to show the button. So that's the NG show. NG disable, NG show. What else are there? ఇప్పుడు అది కూడా ఇది కూడా చెప్పొచ్చు మీరు ఇక్కడ. You can type something. Hour అంటే అవర్, బట్ అవర్ ఈజ్ వాట్ యూ మే బి హ్యావింగ్. ఇంతకుముందు అదే ట్రై చేసాం అలాంటిదే, ఎన్ గ్రేటర్ దాన్ 12. అవర్ అంటే అవర్ కాదు ఇక్కడ, అవర్ అంటే ఈ అవర్స్ కాదు, అవర్ అంటే అది ఒక వేరియబుల్. NG hide, NG show లాగే NG hide కూడా. రైట్, ఇనిషియల్ గా షో అని పెట్టాం కాబట్టి షో, by default it is disabled. NG hide ante by default it is enabled. Okay, first by default అది చూపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది మీకు ఇక్కడ. ఇప్పుడు క్లిక్ చేస్తే హైడ్ అయిపోద్ది, ఇంకా క్లిక్ చేస్తే షో చేస్తుంది, ఇప్పుడు క్లిక్ చేస్తే హైడ్ అవుతుంది, ఇప్పుడు మోర్ దాన్ 12 చేస్తే హైడ్ అవుతుంది, 10 చేస్తే, అదర్వైజ్ ఓకే. Any doubts? మొత్తం డైరెక్టరీస్ ఎవరైనా ఒకసారి లిస్ట్ చేద్దామా? టోటల్ NG డైరెక్టరీస్ ఏమున్నాయి? NG యాప్, NG init, NG bind, NG model, NG repeat, NG hide, NG show, NG disabled, NG control కంట్రోలర్, ఇంకేమున్నాయి డైరెక్టివ్స్ మనకు తెలిసి ఇవేనా మొత్తం. ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్, ఇది ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ ఎక్కడ చూపించాలనుకుంటే, రైట్. సో ఇంకేం ఎంజీ కంట్రోలర్ పైన పెడదాం. సో ఇవి కాకుండా యూ నీడ్ టు నో దట్ ఈస్ యాంగులర్ డాట్ మాడ్యూల్, యాంగులర్ మాడ్యూల్, మాడ్యూల్ నేమ్ కామా ఒక యారే, బ్లాంక్ యారే. అలాగే అనదర్ వన్ వాట్ యూ నీడ్ టు నో, కంట్రోలర్ డాట్ కంట్రోలర్, కంట్రోలర్ నేమ్ కామా ఫంక్షన్ నేమ్, కంట్రోలర్ నేమ్ కామా ఫంక్షన్ ఏం చేయాలని చెప్తాం. అలాగే వేరియబుల్స్, వేరియబుల్స్ ఏమన్నాయి, డాలర్ స్కోప్, డాలర్ హెచ్డిపి, డాలర్ ఇండెక్స్, అవి మనం చూసిన వేరియబుల్స్ ఇప్పటివరకు. బిల్ట్ ఇన్ వేరియబుల్స్ అన్నమాట. AngularJS జార్గన్ అంటే ఈ వర్డ్స్ అన్ని తెలిస్తే మీకు కొంత తెలుసు అని మీ ఫీలింగ్ ఉంటుంది ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్. తర్వాత ఎప్పుడైనా వర్క్ చేయాలని కూడా యూ విల్ బి నోయింగ్. ఎవరు ఏమీ తెలియని దానికి మీకు తెలిసిన దట్ ఇస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ యూ నీడ్ టు నో. ng-click, next ng-click, it's an event now. Next one is an event, next one is an event. Let us add another one. Okay, ng-click either click చేస్తూ ఉంటే let me add some other small input whatever it is. Okay, so let me, if I click, okay, hide చేయడం వదిలేసి ఇంకో బటన్ యాడ్ చేస్తాను. బటన్ ng-click క్లిక్ చేస్తే ఏదో ఆపరేషన్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, క్లిక్ చేస్తే ఆపరేషన్ చేయాలి. కౌంట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు కౌంట్ ప్లస్ 1, కౌంట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు కౌంట్ ప్లస్ 1. కౌంట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు కౌంట్ ప్లస్ 1. ఇక్కడ మీరు ng యూనిట్లో కౌంట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 0 అని ఇనిషియలైజ్ చేయండి. కౌంట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 0 అని ఇనిషియలైజ్ చేయండి. కౌంట్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ 0 అని ఇనిషియలైజ్ చేసి ఇక్కడ ఒక చిన్న పారాగ్రాఫ్ కౌంట్, పారాగ్రాఫ్లో కౌంట్, స్పాన్ ng బైండ్ చేస్తా. దేని బైండ్ చేయను, కౌంట్ బైండ్ చేస్తా, కౌంట్కి బైండ్ చేస్తా. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఆ బటన్ క్లిక్ చేస్తుంటే కౌంట్ పెరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది. ఈ బటన్ పేరు పెట్టలేదు కాబట్టి మీ బటన్ కనపట్లా. ఇక్కడ ఇదే కదా బటన్ కౌంట్. ఇక్కడ కూడా మీరు అసైన్ చేయొచ్చు. కరెంట్ కౌంట్ ఎంతో చూపించవచ్చు మీరు ఇక్కడే. కౌంట్ బ్రాకెట్లో కౌంట్, ఆ కౌంట్ నెంబర్ కూడా ఆ బటన్ మీద చూపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది. సో ng-click అనదర్ ఏంటి ఇప్పుడు నేర్చుకున్నది ng-click. క్లిక్ అన్నది ఏంటి, ఈవెంట్. క్లిక్ అన్నది ఈవెంట్ అన్నమాట. సో నా ఈవెంట్స్కి వచ్చేటప్పుడు ng-click, అలాగే ఇంక మిగతా కూడా ఉంటాయి. ng-focus, Scope toggle another function పెట్టొచ్చు అన్నమాట. So scope my variable, not scope my variable. You can always put it. Toggle చేస్తూ ఉండొచ్చు. So this is another small thing. మీరు ఇక్కడ ట్రై చేయండి. It's your job. Toggle అని మీ own method రాశాడు ఇక్కడ చూడండి click కి. మీ own method రాశాడు toggle and method. Toggle and method ఎక్కడ యాడ్ చేశాడు? ఆ స్కోప్ కి ఒక ఫంక్షన్ యాడ్ చేశాడు. ఆ ఫంక్షన్ బట్టి అది చేస్తున్నాడు. అంటే మీకు ఓన్ ఈవెంట్ యాడ్ చేయాలి, ఓన్ ఈవెంట్ యాక్షన్ యాడ్ చేయాలి. యూ వాంట్ యాడ్ యువర్ ఓన్ ఈవెంట్ యాక్షన్, యూ కెన్ యాడ్ ఇట్. ఇక్కడ మీ ఓన్ ఈవెంట్ యాక్షన్ టాగుల్ అంటే ప్రీడిఫైన్డ్ కాదు, టీ అని పెట్టుకోవాలి దానికి కావాలంటే టాగుల్ అండ్ అవుట్ ఉంటే. సో యూ వాంట్ డిఫైన్ యువర్ ఓన్ ఈవెంట్ యాక్షన్, యూ కెన్ డిఫైన్ ఇట్. దట్స్ యువర్ జాబ్. ఓకే, you learn it. If you are having any doubts, I will clarify it. So my time is running out. Right, almost we are finished with AngularJS. Mithawani, you will be knowing it. Ivanni Malli, we will be coming back and revisiting again. Bootstrap. So it's your responsibility for today to finish all the AngularJS except this SQL part. You can finish the rest. Chala varaku mithawani finish cheseyochu meeru. So but some of the things you may not be able to understand immediately, but when we are developing a full-fledged application, we will be using them. Okay, so let's move on and understand and go ahead. So AngularJS, I would like to have some kind of closure for today, and tomorrow onwards we will be starting PHP and PHP basically to speed it up. Okay, so that is the plan. Go ahead. Server data pushes. Tomorrow PHP MySQL. PHP లో ఏంటనా, PHPలో ఏంటి అని అంటే we will start the basics introduction నుంచి మొదలు పెడతాము. PHPలో కాన్సెప్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, అంటే మేము ఆల్రెడీ కొంతమంది కవర్ అయి ఉంటే వేరే విషయం. వీళ్ళందరూ లాస్ట్ టైం PHP క్లాస్ విన్న వాళ్ళేమో కొంచెం స్పీడప్ చేస్తాం. సో అప్లికేషన్ డెవలప్మెంట్లో నెమ్మదిగా తీసుకుపోతాను. ఇప్పుడు PHP ఒకసారి రీవిజిటింగ్. Quickly we will go through the PHP glance. Then we will start application from day after tomorrow onwards. Content my work 27th May 2015. You will be seeing all those examples, whatever we have done.
మీకు ఎగ్జామ్ అడిగే తీసుకుంటే అది అవ్వదు కదా నీవే పోదు మీటింగ్ జరుగుతాం ఇప్పుడు సాలరీ ఉంటుంది ఆ రూమ్ లో డైరెక్ట్ అమ్మకి మమ్మల్ని తీసేసి అది అందులో మనసు అంటారు 10 days రాలేదే ఏంటి కలగా ఉంది మొహం అవును బాగుంది ఇంత కలగా ఉంది అందుకే ఫీల్ అవుతాం అంతేముండదు అంటే